Last time on Square Roots, we plundered a lost city, failed to collect the MacGuffin, and got sent on a hunt for more MacGuffins. We robbed some mages and got a MacGuffin, and then we plundered a lost city and got a MacGuffin. Is it just me, or is this game starting to repeat itself?
And welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hello. I want you both to know that I appreciate your slight nods at my last time on.
And Johnny Trickster Brandon.
Not one
the Woodsy Lord.
Well, Matt, that was my turn to talk.
The Woodsy Lords.
Oh, we'll talk about Woodsy Lord in a moment. My joke was, now I want, for some reason, I want a McMuffin, but you stepped all over it.
Muffins? Mac muffins?
McMuffin, yeah, instead of McGuffin. It was a good joke. A+, 10 out of 10. Listeners, tell me how good that joke was. Give it a rating. 5 stars. Thank you.
Vanessa's not joining us this week. She has been ill.
Quit playing the game?
And also does not want to play the game.
I don't mean to be rude, but we don't really need her if she ain't playing the game. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Well,
wow, Matt.
It's a little annoying.
I don't like
John, you
that.
suffered through it. You suffered through it with Xenogears when we all quit playing the game.
That's true.
Don't
Wait, I thought
pretend
you
like
said
you
you
didn't
finished.
fucking hate it.
I thought you... Yeah, well, that's because that had jumping puzzles in an RPG, and... Oh, I guess this does have jumping puzzles, but it's not an RPG. And the jumping mechanics are better than Xenogears.
I'm talking about the recording of the episode when all of your co-hosts are just kind of staring at their phones and have nothing to say because they didn't play the game.
I thought you said you
not
finished
fun.
that one.
Xenogears?
Yeah. I don't remember. It's been a long time since we recorded that.
I don't think I made it
has been a
past
long
the
time.
first episode of Xenogears.
I made it to like the 5th or 6th episode of that one, I think, before I gave up. Anyways, We're not playing in Xenogears. We're playing Thief.
But speaking of a long time, did you look at those numbers? Do you see those numbers?
Episode
Numbers.
450. We've done this 450 times. That can't be right. That
Well, you know
Or
what
if
that
you
means,
count
right?
the bonuses.
Give or take 18 weeks, that means we've been doing this for about 9 years.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Little baby Johnny playing Final Fantasy 9 in the living room with the roommates there. That old
I remember.
Yeah.
Matt and Jim were married.
Yeah, we were married when this podcast started.
Vanessa didn't exist.
Yeah, I'm almost on my 2nd marriage now.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're just
that was
speedrunning
before
this.
we. That was before we summoned Vanessa from the depths of the ether.
Yeah,
She
Vanessa-
came out of Jim's printer like Weird Science.
Vanessa started out as our most vocal fan, though, and then insisted that she be on the podcast.
And now she doesn't
And
even
look,
listen
now
to the
she
episodes.
Yeah, now she doesn't even play the games.
I think she'll play I don't know. She'll play Sonic. She just has to get a cartridge. And then she'll play.
Yeah, those seem to be pretty available.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
cartridges, if you
She
want
should-
them.
I would not order them. Oh, yeah. We should talk about that, I guess.
Yeah, I
there's
guess
a
we can
vote
go ahead
going
and-
on.
Yeah.
You have, as of the release of this episode, like 2 days to vote. But you can do it, listeners. You can do it.
You can.
Give
you
us
can
$5.
just go to patreon.com/squareroots and subscribe at the $5 level, and you can go in and vote on our next game. Right now we have 5 games in the current vote. There is Mass Effect Andromeda, Dragon Age Veilguard, Jade Empire, Baldur's Gate 2, and Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. Currently, as of this recording, Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood is in the lead with 35% of the vote share.
You know, I kind of figured that might happen.
We've
we're
been
gonna-
threatening to play that game for a long time.
I always thought we would do it
true.
for a bonus one day.
No, it's fine. We
How
all got
long is
DS.
this game?
That's a good question, actually, Jim. I feel like 2010, maybe 2008. Let me look. Let's see. Sonic Brotherhood game.
Also, I believe that if you're listening to this the day
2008.
of release, it's the last day to vote.
No, Tuesday's the last day to vote.
Oh, excuse me, Tuesday.
This is Sonic
Tuesday.
Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood is about 16 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to play after that?
Whose turn is it?
It would be
Is
a
it
vote.
mine?
Oh,
Is
well,
it my turn to pick?
we did a vote, so yeah, Jim can pick. It's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, Jim, pick
Getting
something good.
Drunk with power already.
Yeah,
I'll pick something good.
yeah, not Final Fantasy
It's gonna be
VII
so
Rebirth again or something.
No, not yeah. It won't
Alan
be a
Wake
100-hour
2.
game. Won't be Alan Wake 2 either.
Yay! All right,
But it should be 100 hours, so my suggestion, Dragon Quest 11.
That's a good game.
so right now, Sonic. We keep talking about Sonic the Dark Brotherhood, but the election's not over. You know, it's got a strong lead, but if enough of you voted for any of them, really, I think you could, make a voting block, and then just dismantle our democracy piece by piece. Like you could decide that Jade Empire wins, or Veilguard, or whatever you want, really.
Yeah. It's up to you.
Just looking at the screenshots for Sonic the Dark Brotherhood, is Organization 13 in this game?
I think it might, but it's going to be like Sega's version. So like Opa
Yeah.
Opa and Alex Kidd are in it.
It looks like a game for babies.
I mean,
John, is it a
so's
game for
Kingdom Hearts.
babies?
I don't know. Probably. I played like 20 minutes of it. And yes, it seems
Yeah, that's
like
all
a game
I've
for babies.
played too. When I look it up on YouTube, the first video that shows up is called "Sonic Chronicles is Genuinely Awful." So
Well,
it's gonna be great.
I mean, people love our Bart's Tale playthrough. So if you like us getting really mad about a game, I think you'll love this one. I assume. Maybe we'll love it. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll surprise you all and think it's great. I don't want to go in with any preconceptions of what's for babies and what's for grown-ups and what's good and what's bad. Ethics and morality out the window.
I'm just gonna let the game wash over you.
It does
come what
have like BioWare style morality though. So you
Oh,
can be,
does it?
like evil.
may. Ooh, that's cool.
And side
Does
with
Sonic get
Robotnik.
pregnant?
Oh, that's who do you have to roam? Which lead would be the most fertile and able to get Sonic pregnant? Dr. Robotnik, Knuckles.
Knuckles?
What
Knuckles
about
was played by Idris Elba in the movies, so...
Big the Cat?
I
Big
think
the Cat
Big the Cat's
looks
a
like
child.
a rabbit. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So that's enough about Sonic the Dark Brotherhood, and a plug for our Patreon, patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about hot gaming news now.
Whoa.
Does anybody have any hot gaming news to share?
You know,
I
I
do.
forgot to look stuff up, but let me type that into my internet.
The hottest gaming podcast on the net is currently celebrating its 450th episode. How's that for hot gaming news?
Oh, I got
Some
something.
pretty hot news.
PSN is down. I thought, because I've been messing around with my account stuff, and I thought I'd fucked it up completely, because I was trying to get it so that I could copy stuff from my PS3. Like, I downloaded my Vita games to my PS3, and then I wanted to copy into my Vita instead of re-downloading them, because that way I could put Silent Hill Origins on Vita, which normally you can't do. But that whole process is super borked now. And so I looked at a guide that told me to de-authenticate all my systems. A lot of guides will say to do that. Don't do that. Because the authentication server for older systems like PSP, Vita, and PS3 is like one server on a rack somewhere in Japan, and it crashes like literally all the time. So you have to like keep trying over and over and over and over again to make it work. Anyway, but PSN down for 18 hours so far.
Wow.
You can't log
What'd they
into your
do?
account. You can't buy things. I don't know if it was because some people like hacking stuff. It didn't say why yet. Yeah.
It'll
there
probably
was
be
a-
fixed by the time this episode releases.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's probably another massive DDoS attack like the Xbox ones had last year.
It's
I have
weird
some
they
hot
haven't
gaming
released
news.
any news about it.
They don't want to talk
Yeah.
about it.
You have hot gaming news, but you don't want to talk about it?
No, they don't want to talk about it. I have some
Oh.
hot gaming news. Crafton announces PUBG Blind Spot, a new 5 versus 5 top-down tactical shooter.
I can hear our listeners just hitting that skip 2 minutes button a few times. It looked
looks,
kind of. It looked like not a Genesis game, but like an early PS1 game.
Yeah, it
looked
definitely
okay.
looked weird. Didn't really
I mean,
look
it
like
looks
something I was
like-
interested in playing.
Like those Jagged Alliance games. I played the reboot that came out in the 2010s. It was okay, but it played like that.
It looked like a Rainbow Six style game, but like a top-down.
Yeah, that first SWAT, or was it? Yeah, that first SWAT that came out. Or was that SWAT 2 that was a top-down isometric game? That was a lot like that.
It looks interesting.
I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it. It looks weird. We'll see. Will I play it? I'll probably give it a shot. Why wouldn't I? But I don't know.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah, I'll
Wow.
try it. So is it like, would you boot that through the regular PUBG front end, or is this like a separate game you
No.
have to buy?
This is a game.
Okay.
I don't know if it. I didn't really think about that. Will it be free to play? Does it cost money? I don't know. It looks like it's not. It's on PC and it's like Steam.
Apparently, the in-game music for Civilization 7, they forgot to edit out someone coughing.
Yeah, they said the people that got it on early release say it's kind of like playing an unfinished game. Apparently,
Well,
it's got a lot of blemishes in it.
Did you see that news about who one of the UI for Civ 6, one of the UI interns helping UI design was?
Yeah, it was folk hero Luigi.
Yep. For real, Matt. That Luigi guy was a UI designer at Civilization 6.
He was like a UI design intern.
Weird.
Yeah. More hot gaming news. Ted Price, think he's like the president or CEO of Insomniac, recently revealed that they pitched Resistance 4 to Sony, but Sony didn't want to make it.
Well, they're done making games now. They just remake games.
I like those Resistance games, or I liked them, back on the PS2 and PS3.
I don't recognize that name.
It's like it was like
It's like
American
aliens.
soldiers fighting like aliens that were like they're like Russian aliens.
Yeah,
Aliens landed in Russia and turned all the Russians into aliens, and then you had to fight the aliens.
It was 3 games that came out. They were only on PS3. I don't think there was ever Resistance. Oh,
Wasn't there?
there was a Vita.
There was
version.
a PSP one, a Vita one. Yeah, there was a Vita one.
Yeah. Or is it?
I
yeah,
just
either
wonder,
PS3 or
like,
Vita.
did they sell well enough that Sony would be like, yeah, let's make a 4th one of these? Or is
I
Sony
think they're pretty
smartly being like,
popular.
yeah, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, people really liked them back in the day. I remember they were like a flagship franchise for Sony around PS3 time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're not going to get any more Resistance games ever.
Sad.
Yeah, that's okay though. This is more hot gym news than hot gaming news, but I did go ahead and spring for the upgraded edition of Avowed
Oh, yeah?
because it was on sale yesterday for like $20. So it's like,
When does that come out?
I'll get it. Comes out. So today's the 8th, and it comes out on the 18th, I believe. So like a week from Tuesday or Monday.
And you'll get early access?
I think I can play it on the 13th. So like
Cool.
Thursday.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for that one. But I'll wait
Yeah, it
for
looks
it to
neat.
hit Game Pass.
Yeah, that's a day one Game Pass game, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think. If
Any
you have,
other
like,
hot
the
gaming
full
news?
Game Pass.
Oh, Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah. No, that's about it. Nothing super exciting that I can see.
Oh, Nintendo announced that they are not going to be discounting the Switch 1 after the Switch 2 releases.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Just with chip shortages and just price, like I don't think they're making that much money on them. I don't know. They must be
Yeah.
making some. But there is going to be a direct coming up. I think this week. Another direct talking about Switch 2, so you get to learn a little more about Switch 2.
That's cool. Word on the street is that there could be a new Castlevania game announced.
Word on the street is they call that Vanian. That's what the kids are calling it. You
Called
crush
getting
up a
veined.
Castlevania disc and snort it.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics was stealth dropped on Xbox One a few days ago.
Xbox
cool.
One?
That's what this says. Do they mean
Well,
Xbox Series?
Well, probably that it works on both because it doesn't have super high requirements, right? Like anything that works for one will work on Series, so that's cool.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's weird, though. That's the announcement. Is that it hit Xbox One?
Yeah, the article says that keeping in mind Xbox Series console backwards compatibility, the Xbox One version can also be played on the current gen. It's weird.
I used to have an Xbox One, but Vanessa stole it.
That's not exactly how that happened.
I mean, I let her borrow it, and she just never gave it back.
I really want this Marvel versus Capcom collection, but not $40 want.
Yeah, that seems like a thing that would have been like an easy Game Pass get. You know what I mean?
Well, it was initially not going to come to Xbox at all.
Oh, the PlayStation
Switch.
exclusive? Oh, Switch.
PlayStation and Switch.
Interesting. Any other hot gaming news?
Nah, not really. It's been a kind of
Yeah.
a slow week.
Yeah, that's true. Looking at just the headlines here. A lot of news about PSN. It must be a really big outage. Yeah. That's about it, I guess. So I guess it's time to talk about Thief. Open up the objectives. Mission
not.
objectives.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not? Oh, we
There's
got to
one
plug
more
our
thing.
streams.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Lonely Mountain Snow Riders came out on Xbox Game Pass. I gotta get that. That Lonely Mountain game was fun. It was hard, but it was fun.
Yeah, was that the downhill biking one? I really like that one.
Yeah, yeah. I like games where you just crash and die a lot. I don't know why.
Me too. So we have a YouTube channel called Square Roots Podcast, and another one called Square Roots Podcast, which sometimes we end up streaming to. But
done that
mostly
in a
we
while.
stream. I think there was something when Vanessa streamed on Twitch. I think it ended up.
Oh
on
yeah.
there. But there is a great playthrough you can watch of a game called Jimmy versus Hugo Nuts.
Jimmy versus Jimmy, I believe, was the name of the game.
It was called At Dead of Night.
Where Jim was playing a horror game about English bellhop who wants to murder you. It looked like PT kinda, but it also
All
was
he
FMV.
does, yeah, it's FMV. And the premise of the game is you go to stay in this hotel, and it's run by a crazy guy who's kidnapped your friends, and you have to explore the hotel and like solve the mysteries of the ghosts that live there, and find out what Jimmy's deal is, and then rescue your friends. And he's like stalking you in the hotel as you're exploring, so you have to like avoid him while you're solving the ghost mysteries.
Is it kind of like a Alien Isolation or like a PT or like a Five Nights at Freddy's?
I would say probably kind of Alien Isolation-y in that you're constantly being stalked by this guy depending on what floor you're on. And sometimes he will just come around a corner and he doesn't kill you. He bonks you over the head and then puts you back in a random room in the hotel.
And as we all know, that's the most terrifying thing that can happen.
Ooh.
It's
I've
scary
been
though.
bonked on
Like,
the head.
if you watch the streams, I got jump scared. I got like
Jim
bonk
started
scared.
swearing. It was pretty
I got
amazing.
scared. I got bonked a lot and got jump scared a lot. Last night, we finished it on stream last night. Well, we got to, like, when you get to the ending, you have to rescue all of your friends, and then at the end it introduces like permadeath. So you have to rescue 5 of your friends in the hotel while avoiding Jimmy, because he will kill you if he finds you at the end. And at that, I think I got to 1 or 2 of them, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, because it was like I don't want to have to deal with game overs, and I'd been jump scared so much at that point that I was just kind of over it. But yeah, you can check out that stream and others. I'm currently doing a weekly live play of Kingdom Hearts 2, which, if you would like to see that live, we stream on Wednesdays or at around 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. Let's see. On the most recent episode of that, we completed... Oh, we did the Under the Sea musical number in Atlantis. That's what we ended on. And we're starting to fight organization bosses, so that's fun. So yeah, you can check that out on our YouTube channel. Just search up Square Roots Podcast. You'll find us on there. Johnny, why don't you tell us about Bears and Games Neo?
Well, I am working on a script about BioShock. I'm limiting myself to 3,500 words, which means about 25 minutes, so that I don't go too crazy reviewing a Switch game. Also, I'm going to make sure that I don't use too much pop culture clips or music, because I want this to be monetized. But for my, this is what I figure. For my longer video essays, like my cows and queer gaming, I'll kind of go nuts and, use whatever I want. But for the Switch reviews and stuff, I'll be a bit more careful with copyright, so that, because they get a lot of views, I'll let those be the monetized ones, and the other ones be the, fun times for me ones. But they'll still be fun. It'll still be fun. Don't worry. I've got some ideas, like talking about how Armin Shimmerin is the voice of Andrew Ryan in BioShock. I want to put his like Quark's head on that little talking thing, and then instead of an Andrew Ryan quote, put like old timey voice mods on a Quark quote instead. I think that'll be fun.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah. And I'm just talking about how, like, it's weird. I didn't really know. I'm doing research now into, it actually relates to the game Thief: The Dark Project, because System Shock came after Ultima Underworld, which was made by, I think, Doug Benson and that one guy who did, what's his name? I was thinking of his name a second ago. The guy who did that Disney game where it was like the Lucky Rabbit came back. Anyway.
Looking Glass Studios, right?
Yeah, Looking Glass Studios. And the guy who did BioShock was an employee there, but he wasn't like high up. I thought he was higher up.
Ken Levine?
Yeah, Ken Levine wasn't like the lead designer on any of those games. I was very surprised. Warren Spector.
He's doing that. He's working on a game now, right? That they announced last year that they did a trailer for. It looks like BioShock.
There, you can actually unlock developer interviews with Jeff Keighley in the middle of playing the BioShock remaster on Switch. I watched like 5 seconds of it, but Jeff Keighley's like the Gene Shallot of video game reviews, so his questions aren't what I would call hard-hitting or interesting.
That guy's annoying.
Yeah. So I don't, and it was just like a talk show style, everyone sitting on comfy chairs thing, and not, I don't know, it just wasn't what I would look for in a making of interview.
Yeah, that sounds like PR.
Yeah.
Than it is like journalism, you know?
It didn't seem like something I really wanted to spend time doing. Yeah, so I'm doing that. I also have been prepping. After that, I want to do a little review on Need for Speed Most Wanted for Vita, because I like, as I say in my videos, I really like portable systems, and so I wanted to look at a Vita game as well. And this is one that was not just released on Vita, but the same game came out on PS3 and 360 and PC, and started just looking at the different versions and how well or not well the game scaled to a portable system back in 2012. I think that stuff is super fascinating. And also, all the Need for Speed games are like $3 or $4, or between $2 and $4 on the EA PC app, which means that they're not in Steam, so no one's going to buy them. But I did, because although it looks like they double charged me for it, so I got to like talk to PayPal and get a refund on one of them. I don't know why they charged me twice. So that's my channel.
That's fun.
Yeah, and after that, Saints Row 2022 is the next open world game that I'm reviewing. I'm done. I just need to get some multiplayer footage, but otherwise, yeah, maybe one of you guys could help me with that.
Ooh, I think I have that game on my PlayStation.
Yeah, it was free on PSN a few months ago. So
Yeah, that's right.
If you need some footage from the game PUBG, I got you. Otherwise,
well,
not
maybe
gonna
Jim can help
happen.
me out.
Sure, I could do that.
Jim, on the other hand,
All right. Anyway, what about the mission objectives?
Yeah, this is
Garrett loves the theater. The theater
I didn't
loves
like
Garrett.
this level so much.
Also known as Mission 10, Garrett and
What are you
the
talking about,
Opera.
Jim? This is the best level. There's so
Why is this
many
the best
innocent
one?
people you can donk or bonk. There was a guy who gives you
Badonka-donk.
hints through song. If you listen to his whole song that he tells you, which
Yep.
is amazing. Was that guy named Raul, or was he singing about someone?
Raul.
Did he give me a key?
He was
Because I
named
don't
Raul.
think I got a key from him. He said he had a key.
No, you get the key
his
from
office?
his office. You know what? Why
All
don't we take
right.
it one
I
step?
did
Yeah,
get that key eventually.
We're looking
Uh,
for like the air talisman, water I don't remember one of those talismans, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah, I don't
Garrett
remember which
gets
one
his
it is
whole-
either. It's called Mission 10, Song of
Garrett
the Caverns.
gets a whole map, which I guess he got from the Hammerites, that shows that, you gotta go use the Earth Talisman to unlock this. Oh, I don't know. It wasn't an Earth Talisman.
Yeah, there's like a button in the canal thing that you have to use the thing
No,
on, right?
I was thinking that's Lost City.
Oh, that's a
mixing that
Lost
up.
City level. Okay.
Yeah, you just have to go under.
No, this one you just have to go. Yeah,
It
you
looks
just have
like
to
it's
go
a
into the
big long
tunnels.
quest to get to
And,
that treasure
it's-
room. Matt, is it a huge long quest that takes you hours and hours to get to that treasure room in the dungeons?
It's another fake out.
Oh,
We make our way down to the Lost Caverns, and guess what happens? The talisman has already been found.
I did meet a couple of clicky clacky lobster hand buddies, though.
And some spiders. In fact, the first thing you're supposed to do is find one of your operatives named Geary. And when you find him, what you find is his spider web entombed body.
Yeah, he got like Frodo'd or
I know Jim
Shallot.
liked this.
This was really
Shallot.
gross, actually. There's this
hates
game
spiders.
it goes absolutely nuts with the spiders in the last two missions. By the way,
Does it?
A lot of spiders.
Yeah. Well, it kind of veers into the creepiness, and spiders are creepy.
They are
That's true.
creepy.
They are very scary.
I don't like
I
that
actually don't think
noise
they're
they
creepy. I
make.
think they're just fine.
Have you ever, Jim? Have you ever met a spider in real life that makes noise? Because I have. If they're big enough, they start making noise, and I do not like
I
it.
don't like that at all. I had to go to a PetSmart a couple weekends ago to get my dogs vaccinated. And I was looking around in the terrariums, and they had like 5 different terrariums with huge giant tarantulas in them. And I audibly went, "Oh no!" and walked away. So gross. Yuck.
My daughter wants a tarantula, and I told her, "Fuck no."
I went to they like can give you bad skin irritation and stuff with their hairs that shoot out. Yeah, they like one time I was about to have a shower and there's just like I'd say about a 2-inch spider on the bath. What do you call that? The shower curtain, and it hissed, and I was like, nope.
Oh no,
No.
I'm gonna barf.
Yeah,
Yuck.
I didn't like
But yeah,
it.
Geary has been webbed up, and you can see his little face poking out of his web cocoon. And you find a little note that says, "Sure are getting to be a lot of spiders. Better get out of here."
Yeah, I'm leaving in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, just gonna have a little quick nap, kind of tuckered out. This
Yeah.
place is spider free.
Do you think the spider saw his note and decided now's the time to strike before
Yeah.
he leaves us in the morning?
Well, he was napping in Spider Town. It doesn't seem like a good plan.
Yeah, for some reason he lives in these tunnels.
Geary?
Why does he
Yeah.
live here? Yeah, Geary lives in these tunnels.
Oh.
I don't remember. It does tell you.
It does.
Like, he's
It
on
says
the run.
It
He's
says
on the lam.
It says he's been living in these tunnels for a while. Is what it says in the cutscene. It
He
says
is on the run from the authorities and hiding out in these
Yeah,
tunnels.
he's been down there for a while though. Was my impression.
I don't know.
But,
But,
Yeah, you find him in his cocoon, and there's a little note, and there's a couple spiders around, and you say something like, "Well, I guess Geary's not going to be much help because he's dead."
I guess I won't be getting Geary out of this sticky situation.
looks like he's a little wrapped up right now. So then
Holy
there's,
shit, Geary's been murdered by spiders.
So the treasure's been taken. You get to the treasure room. He's like, well, what now? Because the treasure has been open. The chest is empty. We do find a body there.
Yeah, we find some notes that tell us that the owner of the opera house is tired of the spiders coming up from the basement, from the tunnels, and sent an expedition in to clear out the tunnels, and that they found an item of magicness. I don't know.
Well, I mean, even when the chest is closed, like you see sparkles around it. So to me, that would indicate a magic item for sure.
But as we are, after we find this, we run into a man who is living in a little shack in these tunnels.
As a
And he is insane.
Yeah, he's
this is
an
a
insane
parody of Phantom, isn't it? Like he's
The
Phantom.
Phantom of the Opera is in your mind. Is that how that song goes?
Yes, the Phantom of the Opera is in your mind.
Come on, there's something like that. Phantom of the Opera.
The Phantom of the Opera is here inside your mind. That's how it
In
goes.
sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came.
My power
heard, Jim?
over you. Wait, no, that's a different line.
Jim, have you ever heard the Me
Strong
First and the Gimme
again.
Gimmes version of the Phantom of the Opera?
I have not.
It's really good, though.
Is
You
it?
should listen to it.
I like
fucking
Me First
great.
and the Gimme Gimme.
That whole album is show tune covers, and the whole thing fucking rocks.
Ooh, I'll have to check that out.
You never heard that one? It's fantastic. That and their album that is all country covers.
I like that
those
one.
are their best ones.
Yeah.
So, Raoul is a Phantom parody.
It was
And,
inside their mind. I was right. I looked up the lyrics, and it's the Phantom of the
the
Opera
opera
is there inside my mind.
Yeah, but it's not just the Phantom is inside your mind. Is there,
But I was
comma.
close.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
made me feel like some sort of fool.
You fool. Inside your mind. Beware.
Anyway,
the
we run into this guy,
Phantom.
Raoul. He is Phantom of the Opera-ing down here because I guess his girlfriend has basically...
Would you call it a... I
Don't
think it was like a
ex-girlfriend?
crush or like a stalker
Or he's
situation.
like dangerously obsessed with.
Yeah, he didn't seem like...
I think... I don't know, guys. She did steal his business out from under him.
Yeah, well, love hurts.
Okay. I think that he got Black Widowed.
So you're saying she asked
Spiders.
for it.
Spiders?
Oh.
She asked for it. He's the one living in the fucking sewers.
Like he didn't he didn't make her sign a prenup, and she stole all of his assets and banished him to the underground
Sewers.
to live as an
I don't know
exiled
exactly. It seemed more
hermit.
like she was a business partner that he was obsessed with. But anyway,
Yeah, that's what but he's saying... I like that this game has operatic exposition. And the best way... Like,
yes,
this
he walks out of
moment
his
is
hut and
amazing.
sings to you about his troubles as to how I can't remember her name, but the lady has stolen his business and he is now living in the sewers, and he does sneak into the opera house at night for provisions through the tunnels because she doesn't know about any of the secret passages.
All his songs are like redone versions of Carmen songs, I think. Like he's
Are
like, Raoul has a key upstairs, find it in his lovely safe. It's like that. It's pretty amazing. Like,
Yeah.
definitely
I mean,
highlight
isn't
of
that
the
basically
game.
the same thing as the Final Fantasy VI opera?
It doesn't give you gameplay tips in the Final Fantasy VI opera.
Doesn't it though?
Hold down C to sneak upstairs.
But also, he's not singing like a song from the opera. He's singing in an opera manner about himself.
Yeah, it's true. But the
To
tunes,
you, telling you what you can do.
Yeah, it's great. I loved it. A+, excellent game design, really fun.
I liked it more when I didn't fuck up and have to redo this, re-listen to it like 3 times.
You gotta have multiple
What'd you
saves.
fuck up?
I don't remember what I did. I had my autosave right before then and was like, God damn it.
This opera house really has... It's got a lot of subterranean levels. Like, it's got...
I got super lost in this opera house. Super duper lost.
It's really only 2 levels.
Is it? No, it's definitely 3. Because there's, like, the underground, right? And then there's the first floor.
Yeah.
With,
Well, sure,
and
the
second
underground
floor.
tunnels where the spiders are.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But there's also, like, even underground, there's a lady practicing her singing and a guard watching her from the shadows. And
Yeah, it's like a basement.
yeah. And you do hear guards talking about, like, one wanting to protect this hot singer who's singing alone. She's like, she might need me. He's like, no, it's not your job to choose your shift. You're not guard leader. But I want to stay down here and protect the pretty lady. Did you listen to that conversation? It was great.
Yeah. Lady Valerius is the name of the owner of the opera house, the new owner of the opera house. He gives you a map to the opera house. Oh no! It says the walkthrough says that he offers you a key, but he puts it on the ground for you to pick up.
Oh, fucking Raoul. God damn it.
That sucks. None of us fucking got the key. How did we get in? We all picked a lock?
Yeah, I
Or
did
Jim
pick a
ghosted
lot
through
of
the walls, I
locks.
guess.
Yeah, I phased through the wall.
Anyway, once he's done singing, he does put a map of the opera house in your inventory, and there is a rope leading up into the opera house from his little shack tunnel. So we climb on up into the basement, and we fucking rob the place. It's pretty great, actually. I agree with John. I like this. It's a little big. It's got a lot of tile floors, which is annoying. Greats. Oh, greats. But
A lot of guards you need to... But it does have a lot of shadowy hallways, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of boys to be bonked, but you are able to get up to the second floor where the Richie Riches are watching the opera in their balcony. Though there's not an opera going on, so I don't know what they're doing.
What they
up
were
there.
doing. Yeah, you can.
They're waiting for it to start.
I was flying around the big opera space, and I was just like floating into their little spaces and listening to them talk.
Could they not see you?
But you can pick all their pockets, which is really fun.
You can turn the AI awareness off, so you can just like float around and watch them move about the level.
The orchestra is like practicing and tuning their instruments, so it does sound like you're there before the opera starts.
I guess.
But
you can go backstage too, and there's nobody back there.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, like, there's so many guards guarding those flats. Like, they're just walking in circles around the background flats.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. Like, why are there so many guards there?
I mean,
I guess you do run into some of the performers in some of the rooms backstage, so. Those are good for a bonk.
I never bought those because they're just there gossiping. I did end up...
But I want to rob their room.
Well, that's true. I did get into one of their rooms through a fireplace, so that was fun.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
I always like bonking when there's like servants or like patrons like this, when there's just like randos and not guards. You can just walk up and hit the first one, and the second one will be like, oh no! And then you can hit them. That's nothing happens. You can't do anything to you. It's like they're not even real. It's like they're not even real people. Like,
I was thinking about that when Jim was killing those Organization 13 Heartless. It's like, and Sora's like, well, they're not even real. Like, they don't even matter. They're just nobodies. They're heartless.
Anything else to add on this one?
Yeah, so there's a ticket taker office, and if you like, there's little safes behind. There's only one guy in there. He's a very fancy boy who gets bonked very easily. But there's little safes you can find behind him. There's a money room that's just full of stacks of cash. I just took all that. That was great. There are lots of like fancy corridors. Maybe too many fancy corridors, but there's like an indoor fountain. It was really pretty. There's a library you can find. You can look at one of the plays that Lady Vivarescu is writing, and it's very bad.
Mm-hmm. It's not her. The patrons complain about it. She's hired some new writer, and nobody likes the new writer, except for one guy who's like, I prefer looking to the future. Mm-hmm. There's a really terrible stairway room with stairs leading up and down, and it's all tile, and is a fucking nightmare to get through.
I had so many moss arrows at this point that I was just covering everything in moss, and that was great. I did get stuck.
I've gotten into the habit of like.
I had to replay like the second floor because basically I got stuck in a room where two guards decided to like stand still right outside the front door, and I couldn't kill them fast enough, so I had to basically reload and then just bonk everyone one by one. I did find out that if a guard is in a completely neutral, unalerted stage, you can one-hit kill them with an arrow, either to the back or the head. We'll take care of them, which is wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
But they
I have learned that you can kind of slow walk by just like moving forward like a foot at a time. Even on tile, it usually won't make a noise. Sometimes it'll make a step, but it's even better than the shift crawl. Like you just kind of like step, step, step.
I like
Slow,
that the guards
but it works.
do not notice the moss volcanoes. They're like, that's weird. Why is there a moss volcano here? So you find a room. You find a few letters. I guess one from a suitor who says that he's given her the key to the wall safe, but that also opens the chest. I don't know. I found
there's multiple keys. You get Raoul has a secret office that you can access by like pushing a what is it, like a carving on a wall, like a golden wall carving.
I don't know if I
you
found
push
that.
it'll open a secret door, and inside that office you'll get. Did you get the flute? Was the flute in there?
No, I didn't get a flute, so I must have missed this.
There's a valuable flute you can get, but the key's not in the room with it. But the key to the safe is in the room with the key to the treasure chest with the talisman is in the room with the talisman.
I eventually found
and
it.
I want
my
to say
second
so
time.
is the key to the flute
Yeah.
chest. So
'Cause
I
he left
got
that
the
with a
talisman
note.
and then ran down and grabbed that flute.
Yeah. It was a little confusing that Opera Man did refer to himself in the third person, so I wasn't sure if he was talking about himself or not. Opera Man, bye. Remember Opera Man?
There's a secret way into the room because there's two guards guarding the door to Lady V's office, and they are a pain in the ass to get. Like it's tough. I think I eventually gas arrowed. I had two gas arrows, and for some reason the first one didn't notice when I gas arrowed the second one. So I gas arrowed the first one and then I gas arrowed the
You
second
can
one. And
maybe
managed to get
aim
through it.
between them because there is a mild area of effect on those gas arrows.
I tried that. Several times and could not get the range. But maybe if I had just run out in front of
I
them,
just threw a
maybe it
plate
wouldn't have
and
mattered.
then took them out one by one.
Oh yeah, that's always an option. You don't even have to go through them. Actually, there is a secret passage into the room from the library below.
But you
If you
can't
go
pick
into the
that
library,
lock.
there's a wall panel. No, that's the office has a locked door that can only be opened from the other side. If you go into the library, you can just open the secret door and go up the stairs into the office to get all the stuff.
Yeah, but that has a lock too. It has a lock in the inside that you couldn't pick. That you have to have the key for.
That's in the office. The lock is on the inside. In the library, it is not, and you can just break into it.
Oh, okay,
I
see
know.
what you're
I
saying.
did it.
Yeah, I did do that. I definitely broke into the
After
the
I'd already
library.
gone through the office, but I was like, I must know how this works.
That is a clanky staircase, though. The one in the library is full on metal, but I'd already knocked out all the guards around, so it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, as always, by the time I was finished with this level, every guard was sleeping in a corner.
For me,
somewhere.
everyone
That's just how it goes.
was knocked out. Everybody.
Oh, you knocked out the patrons?
Yeah. Oh, I had. Well, no, okay.
Richie
Not every
rich
patron,
motherfuckers.
but I did knock out a few. Definitely a lot of those rich. The ones that were walking around, 100% bonked. Anyone in the ticket office bonked. Anyone in one of those boxes, opera boxes, totally bonked. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 floors of the opera boxes as well, right?
There's a lot of people at the opera.
You can get backstage, and it's all catwalk, and the catwalk is so loud. That's where I used up my moss arrows, was like almost covering this catwalk. There's a guard walking around on the catwalk. So I had to like moss arrow the catwalk so that I could get on there behind him and bonk him so that the ones below wouldn't hear me. Anyway, eventually we find the air talisman, and then you escape from the opera house. Very rich, because there's a lot of money here.
Yeah. Then we have one more talisman to find before
One more
we can
MacGuffin.
get the one more thing. We got to find the. I think this is the water talisman.
Water was the... God damn. My mouse on this fucking laptop is not working right.
It's not the fire one, and is this the air one? No,
No,
the earth one was the first one you got.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, we got earth and fire. So this is either air.
Yeah.
I think it was air in the opera. So this got to be water.
No, it's water in the opera.
Yeah,
Oh,
water in
okay.
the opera, and then air in this one. Because I remember you have to. Well, we'll get there, but you have to do the whole prayer thing.
Right.
Or else it hurts you.
This was a DLC level, but also the best DLC level because it was a Hitman style sneakathon with disguises and this was really good. Also, it was not super long. The only thing was finding all of those 5 buttons. I did have to look up a couple because there's like one in the garden.
All right, so that takes us to mission 11. Garrett. I can't do it now. Garrett and the Temple of the Very Sleepy Hammerites. Well, they will be very sleepy by the time we're done. This one, as much as we have joked around about like knocking every person out that we come across, you fucking have to in this one. You don't have a choice.
You don't have to. I know. Okay, I did.
Oh boy.
But I just yakety saxed my way out of there once the alarm
There are
goes off.
so many guards. There are so many guards. All right, so for mission 11, we have to go get the air talisman from the Temple of the Hammerites, and the way we're going to do that is by breaking into the Hammerite Temple the old-fashioned way, by joining up
With the disguisey.
Oh, yeah, with the disguisey. So it's a weird kind of stealth mission where you can't do anything to let them know that you're not really you can't really do anything to let them know that you're not a Hammerite novice, so you can't steal anything, and you can't bonk anybody, and they can't find any bodies because you're the first person that they'll suspect because you just showed up.
Which I
And
thought
if
was
they
smart.
if you do any of those things, they will set off an alarm, and 100 Hammerite guards will come
And you
rushing.
can bonk them as long as they don't find the bonky body.
Yes. Yeah, so that kind of is what it becomes, is just slowly bonking your way through this entire temple,
I
putting all of these boys
basically
to sleep.
only bonked the lower floor. The top floor, I just let everyone live. Or not live. But I didn't have to bonk anyone. The lower floor, though, is a lot easier to bonk all the guards. But the top floor, not so much. Although I did gas a bunch of guards that in a really... two of them got stuck on each other, and then a third one came by, and I just air arrowed all 3 of them. It was amazing.
So there's 3 levels to this. There's the top level where the barracks are and some other stuff and like the prayer chapel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second floor has a bunch of rooms that you're not allowed in. You can tell because there's an red upside down hammer next to the door, which means don't go in here if you're a novice.
Mm-hmm. I thought that
And then the bottom floor
icon
is the
on the
crypt.
door was going to be different, so I didn't notice some of the... Because, it's a really cheap-looking red hammer on the wall. It's not... They don't change the texture on the door. So I was really confused. I was like, well, none of these doors have the hammer red and upside down. But it's next to the door somewhere there's going to be a red upside down hammer.
I mean, I thought they were pretty obvious personally, but
I'm
now
not as
what I
smart as
definitely-
you, Matt.
I definitely bonked all the boys on the top floor first and put them all to sleepy sleep. And then went down to the second floor and bonked all those boys.
I did
it's
like
it's kind of a
bonking
tough
the
level
high
because
priest.
there are the one that's in this little room. I had to murder him.
Oh, no.
There's you have to come back here for a later mission and interact with that high priest, and it's pretty annoying. Honestly.
How's that going to work? He's dead.
Well, I don't think it saves that.
Yeah, no, you have to come back and find his body and return him to the other Hammerites, and it's real annoying trying to find out where this guy is.
Anyway, the second floor has a bunch of doors, a bunch of rooms you're not supposed to go in that are full of loot, so that's fun. But it's got patrols that will like randomly start up once you get in the area. So to the right, there's a graveyard, and to the left, there's a garden. And if you go into the garden, some guys will start patrolling. And if you go into the graveyard, some guys will start patrolling that are not there at the beginning. So the smart thing to do is to go down and like knock them out one area at a time. Mm-hmm. And then just hide them in the red rooms because they won't go in those. Except the one with the high priest, which there's a window so that you can wait and then get him in the back. But I didn't do that. I just walked in and he was like, "I see you." And so I pulled out my sword and stabbed him in the face.
Because I snuck up behind him while he was behind the thingy and just bonked him. You're not supposed to be. Oh! It was great.
Yeah, you can catch him out early enough and knock them out, even if they notice you. But you have to be quick about it. And then finally, there's a crypt, and this has only got a couple of guards in it. There is one mage in a room that's all tile that's sleeping, and if you take a fucking step, he wakes up.
Unless you cover his floor with moss and then bonk him in his sleep.
You can also hit him with a gas arrow from a little ways away, and
Oh, actually, I think that's what I did.
That.
Yeah, that's what I did was I gas arrowed him, and that was really fun. Those gas arrows,
too bad they're so expensive. It makes
sense.
It makes sense that they're so expensive, but like it's so powerful. Anyway, as John said, then there are 5 switches you have to hit. I don't think you have to hit them in a specific order.
Well, you got to get that golden
all
hammer
5
from that one guy's room. That's just
that's right. Yeah, if you find the talisman, it's not hard to find. It's not super well hidden. It is behind a locked gate, and there's a couple things you have to do. You have to have a golden hammer. The first hammer, I think, is what it's called.
It is the first hammer. Yeah, it's on like a pedestal in one of the rooms where the guards are.
And once you unlock the gate by hitting all the switches.
Oh, it's a different hammer? I found both of them.
Yeah, you can get both of them. The golden hammer is in the high priest's room, and then there's the first hammer, which is in the museum.
It's on like it's like on display. You also have to get the prayer from the library. Sorry, we're interrupting you. There's a library you can find that's got some like Hammerite books around, and you can find a scroll that has a prayer on it that you need in order to like dispel the talisman, or else you can't pick it up. If you try to pick it up before reading the prayer, it just goes, ooh, ow, ugh.
Doesn't it do the punch thing like the talisman in the fake talisman?
I don't think it does it on this one. He just won't pick it up. He'll just take damage.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to hit 5 switches, present the hammer, read the prayer. It's a whole goddamn ordeal.
And you have a time limit to press all those 5 switches. Which
is
the
5
guides?
minutes.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, the guides made it sound like it was going to be so hard. It's like, no, this is easy. Like, it took me a while to find that garden switch.
If you didn't have the guide telling you where all the switches were, though, like I can see myself being like, wait, where was that last one?
That's true, because I did have, like, I got the gist of it before I looked at a guide. I was like, okay, I hear this power up, power down sound when I push these buttons, and there's multiple, like, I found them. I didn't find all of them, so I did have to use a guide to find all of them, because I didn't find that there's a clue in the library in a back room that tells you where all the switches are, but I didn't find that clue.
Yeah. You have to, it's a chest that you have to have a key for that you find on the second floor, and the chest is on the first floor. So it's a little, I think, unintuitive. But if you find the key and then go back up and open the chest, then it will basically lay the whole thing out for you. You have to hit all 5 switches. You have to have the hammer. You have to say the prayer. But if you don't find that, you're basically fucked, which I did not think to do. So I did have to turn to a guide to be like, what? How do I'm standing here looking at this thing. How do I get it? My favorite part is that the guides were all like, all right, now once you've got the thing, the bridge is retracted, so you have to go back through the crypts. And I was like, rope arrow, just jumped across. It's the ceiling's wood. But that's basically it. It is. I actually I thought this was a really fun mission too. It took me 3 tries. I had to reload from start 3 times to get through it, because the first 2 times I kept. The first time, I imagine a lot of people go through this. The first time I'm stealing everything I can get my hands on, but then they noticed and rang the alarm. And then I tried to get through it with 100 guards chasing me, and it was a nightmare. So then I reloaded it, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do better this time. I'm going to not steal all the stuff, and I'll do that on the way back out. But they still rang the alarm just because I was like in areas I wasn't supposed to be. Or it's actually pretty detailed. Like if you hang around too long in one spot, they'll ring the alarm. Like they're not fucking around. And then the third time I finally did just kind of like decide, okay, it's sleepy time for the entire goddamn temple. It's bedtime. It's curfew. You're all going to sleep. But it is a really fun mission. I liked that you don't have to be quite as stealthy. You can just walk around, and it's fine. And then once you bonk everybody, you can go through and steal all their stuff. Johnny hated this mission, he said.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. This was a fun one. The next one, I think I didn't get the full experience of, because like once you get the talisman and this mission's over, you have all the talismans now, so you can go get the eye from the cathedral. Mm-hmm. And
or as I like to call it, Mission 12, Garrett and the Return to the Lost City to find the eye and also a very demanding ghost.
It's not the Lost City. The Lost City is Lavatown. It's the cathedral.
But the cathedral's in a lost city, Johnny.
It's not the Lost City. It's a Lost City.
It can be the Lost City.
I mean, this whole city is just called the city.
It's true.
So.
And this part of the city is lost.
Yeah.
To the population.
What was up with this?
They can't get in.
What was up with the ghost in this level? I have some questions about the ghost.
He's cool. I like. He was a little annoying because he did lose all his stuff, but I liked him because he was very friendly. He was a friendly ghost.
What was up with the whispering in your ear?
That was
that's
eye.
the eye. Yeah.
Oh, that's the eye doing the whispering. Oh.
Yeah. So you break back into the Hammerite Cathedral in the Lost City to get the eye, and that part's pretty easy, though. This thing is filled with zombies and like hammer ghosts.
I feel like
will fucking murder you.
I feel like as soon as you get the eye, as soon as you grab it, 100 monsters come out. Like I was looking around and like zombies were just like flowing in from the adjacent rooms. It's like there's so many monsters in here.
Everybody in. So there's 1 or 2 ghosts that shoot skulls at you. That guy's pretty cool. There's those annoying red armored. There's annoying red.
Yeah, those are the Hammerite
ghosts. Skeleton guy. They will die to 2 fire arrows. Sometimes 1 if it's really well placed. You can kill them with 1 shot, but usually it takes 2.
Or a holy water arrow.
What, really? That didn't seem to do anything to them. It killed the zombies for me. Maybe I didn't. Hit them enough.
I see. I don't remember if I did shoot them with holy water. Flash bombs work really too. In fact, I cleared this whole fucking cathedral out the first part, but then I was kind of fucked for the rest of the mission.
Yeah, I did the other way around.
I did eventually realize that you can sneak up behind the ghosts and the zombies and stab them in the back. Though I could never get. When you backstab with the sword, does it stab them?
Good question.
I thought you said you could stab people.
Yeah, I read that.
Johnny?
I never did it.
Oh. Because I was doing that to the zombies and the red skeletal ghosts, but it was like it did a lot of damage, but it wouldn't kill them. So I would hit them in the back and then have to hit them a few more times. But at least they were like facing the other way, so I could kill them without taking a shitload of damage because they hit hard.
So once you get the eye, which requires a little bit of climbing, and you have to power up a generator to get these elevators working, and there are
I never did that.
There are ghosts in. Oh, you could probably just use rope arrows too. I bet.
Yeah.
There are ghosts in the basement. The basement's a little annoying, but there is a big stack of money right next to the generator. Like so much money.
Also worth noting, once you get the eye, you can run back to the front doors, and then the eye seals the doors on you.
What?
And it's
Why?
like, ha ha, fuck you.
I thought he was your friend.
He's definitely not your friend.
He also says something to the tune of, I'm going to peel all of your skin off.
Oh.
He says some creepy
cool eye.
stuff.
Well, but there was different whispering. The eye would whisper to you sometimes, like plot relevant stuff. But the red haunted ghosts, I think, were the red skeleton ghosts.
Oh, is
were
that
the
what
ones
was
that
going
were
on?
whispering like, yeah, those were the ones that were like, if you were close to them, they'd be whispering like, we're gonna
Kill you and eat you and peel your skin.
Oh, maybe that's what I was hearing then. There's also some whispering that you can hear as you're putting the because like in order to open the cathedral, you have to put the talismans on the statues, and there's like whispering happening while you're doing that. I didn't know.
This is
what
a very
that was
whispery
about.
episode.
Very whispery mission. Yeah.
mission. So the eye, I say it's a fucking gemstone. The eye will lock the front doors, which forces you to go out the back way. And this is all blocked off and fallen apart and fucked up. But eventually you find a friendly ghost named Miris, Brother Miris. And Brother Miris agrees to help you, but makes you do some chores first. Which, okay.
Yeah, because
Get
he's
fucked.
forgotten his like prayer candle above his shed and his rosary and that one Saint Yule's that's
In
just
his room.
yeah, full of monsters and zombies and things.
He also, on the harder modes, he makes you do a lot of other weird shit, like fetch some bodies and some other stuff.
I'm glad I didn't
But
have
we
to
were
do
not
that.
playing it on the harder modes.
You do have to.
But yeah,
bring
he
all
basically
this...
gives you like one chore at a time.
I did like making the holy object, although that one skeleton kept coming in while I was in the middle of it, so I had to kill that skeleton guy.
They never came into that room on me, which I was very shocked by.
No, I guess I was
You can also
being
make
too loud.
a key to the wine cellar in there, which is cool. So you have to make a holy symbol, and to do that, you have to go into like a room and put a mold on a thingy in a vise, and then pour some molten metal. Boy, we gotta stop doing Saturday records. This is the sleepiest, most distracted episode. John, your cat's behind you.
I know, that's what I was doing. I was petting the cat.
It's hard to tell with your cool sunglasses on.
It's true, I'm wearing some real cool shades.
Anyway, you pour some molten, metal into a mold, and then you've got you can make a key in there as well, which is neat. And you have to go up to the roof, to the tower, to the observatory, and drop the hammer in a pond or like a pool.
Yeah, there's a pool up in the observatory where he's like channeled some moon magic into the pool. He's like, it's not enough to like make holy water, but it will bless a holy object. I thought because I hadn't got the quest to do it yet, so I was like, ooh, can I like use this to push away zombies and skeletons? I tried throwing it at them and everything. I was like, and then that's not what you do.
Useless. You can open that roof actually and jump onto the telescope and get on the roof, and it's
broken.
A nightmare world.
Yeah, it's broken up there. They did not expect you to do that.
No, they did not.
Yeah, so
That's kind of it. It's
you
just run around and
that
fetch shit for
thing,
this ghost.
and then he's like, okay, so I just need you to consecrate my grave. So you go and you consecrate a grave for him, and if you're just playing on normal difficulty, that's it. That was really fun, though. He gives you
Is there more to it?
Yeah, he gives you a key, and it's like,
Key to
this
the
is-
armory.
I don't have a key to the gate, but there might be something in this armory that a miscreant like you can use to get out of here.
Yeah, it's a bomb. He gives you a bomb that you can use to blow the gate open.
Man,
Which seems like a bad idea. Now all these zombies and ghosts are going to be in the city.
In the Lost City, though.
it's
Yeah, but still.
fine. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, there are already ghosts and zombies there, so what's the
Yeah.
difference?
So I did. This took me a while because as sneaky as I was trying to be, like as soon as I got to that second floor, just every skeleton in the church. I guess Matt actually, since he killed all the skeletons in the church, had an easier time. For me, it was just being rushed. So I had to like go on. There's this beam they can't walk on because it's too narrow. So I just went to the beam and waited for them to get bored and walk away. And then I went like mossed every floor of that squeaky wooden floor. I mossed it all, every step of that, so that I could grab the bomb. Once I got the bomb, ran out of there, and it took me a few tries to get it to explode right, because you have to put it right up against the gate. But the first time it didn't open the gate, and the second time it didn't open the gate. The third time was the charm.
Yeah, I had to do it twice. I also like that in the cathedral is like 3 levels, and if the zombies hear you, they will like rush up the stairs and come after you, and you can like see them like in a train, like rushing along the, the little narrow ledges coming after you. Like, oh no, you're not gonna jump across this beam though, are you, dummy?
That one guy
It's
still
pretty
was
dumb.
shooting skulls at me though.
I never had anybody shoot any skulls at me. Maybe I killed him before he could shoot a skull.
Yeah, it's the ghost. That one like transparent ghost.
They were all kind of gathered in the center at one point, and I just started throwing flash bombs and fire arrows and shit at them and shooting holy water arrows. And that seemed to take care of the ones in the cathedral, at least. There are a million other ones out around. Thankfully, the zombies are pretty avoidable, but some of these like narrow corridor areas, the zombies become a real fucking problem. There's 3 little things in the cloister that you have to go into. There's like a dormitory and a machine shop and I guess a research lab. And each one has got a million goddamn zombies in it. But eventually we blow the door open and we escape.
Yeah,
Can we talk about the cutscene?
Yeah, let's talk about the cutscene because I feel like it sets up the last chunker really well.
Great cutscene.
It
full
is
of
the best cutscene in the game,
twist.
I think. Yeah.
Not that unexpected, though. I don't know.
Well, okay, I wasn't expecting the language change.
The woodsy lord thinks the foolsy man should be killsy wildsy.
Yeah, so
you meet back up with Constantine and Victoria.
Yeah, and you give them the eye, and you ask for payment, and then Constantine turns into the devil, and Victoria uses like plant powers and becomes a plant person and tangles you up in all these roots. And then Constantine plucks out your eyeball.
Yeah. We've found scrolls about these people around the city throughout the game. The Pagans is kind of a third sect between the city government and the Hammerites. And there's also the Paganites who worship the Woodsy Lord, who's speaking like sing-songy, rhymey. Yeah, it feels very like Shakespearean Fey influence to me.
He's basically Pan, like the folk god guy.
Mm-hmm. And so they tangle you up in some vines and then rip your fucking eye out.
Yeah, pretty gross.
Yeah, he says that the eye is defective because it's blind and it needs your eye to see. And then he sticks your eyeball on the gem and leaves you to be eaten by plants.
I guess because like there's a second part of this cutscene where it shows the keepers coming to help you, and they just cut you out of the roots or the branches.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It sounds like the way he puts it is like, you're gonna feed the lilacs,
the lilaxies,
which I take to mean like you're just gonna lay here until you die, and then your body will,
fertilizer.
Be used as fertilizer. It's creepy, though. It's fucking creepy, and I liked it. And as silly as the Woodsy Lord is, I think it works pretty well. Like, it does creep me out. Also, I guess it's just the Wood Lord, because they say the Woodsy Lord, but they also are like, the Woodsy Lord thinks the foolsy mansy. Like, everything is Z.
Yeah, it's weird.
They suddenly turn into Gollum for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the look of this guy. He's like a satyr, kind of. He has horns. He has like a man head with horns on it and like markings on his face, and he gets like a woodsy man beard, but he's like has a goat half for the bottom and a big long tail. Looks pretty cool.
Sorry, I was trying to look and see if I could find a fun picture of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can.
I took a bunch of screen caps of that whole thing. One moment.
Like he turns into the devil.
He basically does.
Yeah, he looks like sort of the Japanese devil too. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Oh, do I guess I didn't take screenshots of the last stuff. I thought I did. Oh, maybe. Just the lady using her plant arm on you. Oh yeah, I've got one. If you go through my picture, there is one of them looming over you with their horns. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know what. So if he's the trickster, which is like the chaotic nature god, what is Victoria? Is she just like a wood nymph?
She's like
kind of thing?
she's like some kind of sexy
a minion.
vampire nymph.
Oh, cool.
She turns all green and barky, so I would say that she's
She
like
does.
a wood.
In fact, that part of the cutscene made me laugh because it shows her like stepping in front of the camera. The perspective is like behind her, and you see her butt, and then her butt becomes like covered in bark.
Do you remember?
I like the kind of dichotomy here. We've spent this whole game dealing with these like Hammerites who are basically like industrialists and are like totally evil. And so you would think like, so then probably the nature people are the good guys. But no, they're fucking evil monsters that definitely want to pluck your fucking eye out and leave you to die.
His whole thing is he's like trying to revert the world back to like a primitive state. Basically wipe out the builders. That's what the Hammerites call their guy, right? The builder. They want to wipe away all of the builders' influence in the world.
Yeah. They're both pretty much evil, but like opposite.
Do you remember in the movie Troll when Elaine got turned into a nymph? It's like that, basically.
Yeah. I forgot about that movie. Is that the one where the main character's name is Harry Potter?
Yes.
Isn't that 2? Or is it both?
No, that's
it's
in the first one. Troll 2 doesn't have any memorable character names. It's just nonsense.
Anyway, next time... Nilbog is a good name. Next time we will finish the game. Woo!
Yay! There's only 2 missions left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, only 2.
Oh. I gotta say, this has been a fun game, and I'm glad that we played it. It has not made for a great chit-chatty podcast series. It's a little thinner on plot than I thought it was. I mean, it's there.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I feel like the game changes a lot in these last 2 missions. Not in terms of like the gameplay, but yeah. But there's just like the tone of it changes. So it's fun.
Definitely this Haunted Cathedral is the scariest fucking mission in the game. Like, I jumped multiple times when things would just come around the corner or, Yeah. Like this is when it becomes real like horror stealth.
Yeah.
Hiding in a corner hoping this fucking ghost doesn't see me that's talking about skinning me alive.
Yeah. Yeah, those ghosts are say some really gnarly things.
And Jim said this, but I'll repeat it. At the end of that cutscene, the keepers show up and cut you free, and are kind of like, what does he say? He's like, ever since you left us, you've been a stone rolling downhill, and now it's time for you to point that momentum somewhere. And he's like, the eye won't forgive you for doing what it wasn't able to do, and we expect you won't forgive us. And they just leave your ass. They cut you free, but they're like, now go fix this, motherfucker. That's Thief.
Yep. That's it for this chunker. Like Matt said, next time we're going to finish the game. But I have a question for you guys. What, Matt, are you squarely against?
There's a lot in this one. This was pretty much all fun, good levels in this chunker, in my opinion. And it's hard to pick. I would say, I guess I'll go the easy route and just say I'm really roundly for the great plot twist, though it was pretty easy to see coming. It was obvious that Constantine was going to betray you, but I did not expect him to turn into the devil and take my fucking eye out of my head. So I did really like that. Great twist at the end. And I'll just also say, just in general, these 3 levels, good fun time, all pretty unique. You had a horror level, you had a fun. That Hammerite level is almost a comedy. Like it's
pretty fun.
It is very silly. And then the opera level, probably the least fun of the bunch, but still a good time. And like that one had the most loot, I think, which I like stealing loot. What about you, Johnny? What are you squarely against?
I'm roundly for Raul and his singing. That was delightful, a surprise, a fun moment. Definitely elevates this game above its contemporaries because it was very silly but interesting. What about you, Jim?
I'm roundly for the trickster. I think he's silly, really silly, but also pretty creepy looking in his design and pretty threatening for a bad guy because he plucks your eye right out of your head. Pretty cool stuff.
Do you guys think we're going to get that eye back?
No.
No.
How? What would you do with it? Just stick it back in your head?
Yeah. It's a magic world.
That is true. It is a magic world. I wonder. I don't think we do though, but maybe. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, that's it for this chunker. I think now it's time to talk about how we leveled up. I'm gonna
Just
go
looking at the cover for Thief 2. Garrett has 2 eyes.
Oh, really? You do get the eye? I guess. Huh? Maybe I just didn't notice.
It's like a robo eye.
Or you could
Oh,
get a
you do.
glass eye.
You do get a robot eye. Yeah, you do get a
Wow.
robot eye.
Wow.
Because there's a close up on it in the final cutscene, I think. But yeah,
spoilers.
let's. Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about how we leveled up. I'm gonna go first. So we already kind of alluded to it when we did our plugs, but I did play a spooky game on stream called At Dead of Night, and I liked it a lot. It was really silly, but oh man, did I get 100 jump scares every time I got bonked. It was very, very scary in that sense. I also finished a playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2, which is a great game, maybe one of the best. I think one of the best games. I think it's great. And I'm excited for the new series of the new season of the TV show in a couple months. So that's cool too. Matt, how did you level up?
Let's see. How did Matthew level up? Did I do anything this week? Did I do anything fun, guys? Did I watch any movies? I did. I watched Venom 3: The Last Dance, and
Did you like it?
Was terrible. It was not good. It was fun. This is what I expected out of it. So I have to say, it's not like I was surprised. It was a fun movie. It had some good gags. The action stuff was pretty entertaining. It just couldn't be bothered to even try and make sense, really, with its plot. It set up this no bad guy, clearly for another movie. That's not going to happen now. At least it wasn't Venom has to fight another symbiote that looks just like him in a dark room. And instead we kind of got a bunch of symbiotes doing weird symbiote stuff and being different colors and stuff, which is not much, but is something. But I'm not kidding. It just could not be asked to have the barest goddamn respect for its audience. It just didn't care. It just shat itself from one scene to the next, and was overall pretty stupid. Also, that Tom Hardy doing whatever fucking accent he thinks he's doing.
Yeah, what is he doing in this?
It was weird in the first one.
Oh,
It was weird in the first one, and by the third one, legitimately, I'm like, can you fucking stop talking, please? It was not good, and I would not recommend anybody watching it unless it's real late and you're real bored, and maybe a little altered. You know what I mean? Had a few drinks, doing other things that you like to do with your time. Mm-hmm. It was not a bad time, but it was certainly not a good movie. Also finished the second book of the Malazan Books of the Fallen, Dead House Gates, and I really loved it. You may remember that I said a few weeks ago that I had read the first book, and I had heard that there was like a 10-year gap between the first two books while the guy tried to get it published, and I'd heard that the second book was better written than the first. The first had some writing flaws, and the second book was much, much better. I often found myself stopping and just thinking to myself, like, this book kicks ass. It's very much about like a big military campaign and an army with, I think, 40,000 refugees trying to flee, basically, from what I can gather, from like Germany to France, like quite a distance. And it's not nice. Like, it was kind of horrific and awful, but it was awesome, and I really enjoyed it and have started up the third book, Memories of Ice. I'm glad I'm finally reading the series. It's fucking good. I don't know why I didn't read it a long time ago. It's a little more mature than I think I was maybe ready for back then or something, because it's certainly not a hero's journey type, you know? Like, Frodo ain't taking the ring to Mordor. It's bad. It's about soldiers and how fucking awful that is. And I guess that's it. I can't really think of anything else fun that I've done. What about you, Johnny? How did you level up?
I leveled up. I got all those Need for Speed games for $15 and then got charged twice. I'm working on my script for BioShock. I've been watching Severance season. I did go roll back to season 1 again because it's been a while. And it's fun going through all the little details, like in the training manuals. I've been pausing on the screens and reading the training manuals as Mark flips through them. That's real good too. I recommend Severance, and season 2 is different, but it's very interesting so far. It seems more Twin Peaksy almost, like a lot more out there compared to the first one.
Yeah, I was talking to Vanessa about that. It feels like and this is not a spoiler, but like they're making Lumen, like in the first thing, I feel like Lumen was just kind of vaguely threatening.
Yeah.
And now they're making it seem a lot more like evil corporation.
I'd assumed that the show was shot in Scandinavia from all the snow and the European cars, but it's shot in New Jersey. That big
I
living
was
buildings in
reading
New Jersey.
the most recent episode was like an on-location episode, and I was reading that it was filmed just a couple hours north of New York City.
Yeah. So I like they do a really great job with just set dressing the town and the VFX and like the practical. There's a shot of someone running through the office in the first episode.
Yeah.
That was all. I thought it was CG'd, like linking different shots together, but it is a real one shot that took 30 takes to do.
It looked great too.
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. So I've just been going back and rewatching it, and Zach Terry is adorable. I like what they're doing with his character. I've only got to episode 3, but I see where it's going with episode 3, I think, in an interesting way, to learn more about Zach Cherry's character. So that's cool.
I like that they're giving all of the characters little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
he's
really fleshing them out.
When it started, he was kind of the Dwight Schrute of The Office.
Yeah.
But now he's a much more fleshed out character, and I think it's much more interesting. So
it is.
That's good.
I agree.
So Jim, how did you level up?
I already leveled up.
Oh, that's it? We're all done?
Vanessa, how did you level up?
I got food poisoning.
Yeah, I ate a bunch of oysters. They were raw. She says it was norovirus. I don't know. I'm suspicious.
I don't know either.
What is
Getting that sick
norovirus?
after
is that a
eating-
pukey virus?
Yes, norovirus is a super pukey virus. Like, they get that on cruise ships a lot, and it is going around that part of the U.S., like around D.C.
It is, yeah. It's been, it was tearing through Ohio last time I was in Ohio.
Uh-oh.
Yikes. Also, John bullied me and decided to do a vote for my pick.
Hey, she said she didn't want to do it, and I was like, and then Jim said, "Why don't we do a vote?" And I thought that was a good idea, so I did a vote. I didn't bully her. She said she didn't want to pick anything.
She did say, I don't want to pick.
She did say, I don't want to pick. And Jim was like, let's do a vote. And Johnny was like, I'm going to put a vote up. And then Vanessa was like, actually, let's just do Dragon Age. And everybody ignored her.
It's too late. I'd already posted the vote. I'm not going to take down the vote.
Yeah, Vanessa, if you really want to play Dragon Age Veilguard, you can sign up on the Patreon. And at the $5 level and cast your vote like everybody else. Yeah. So
Do you think that she'll be back next week for the last episode? I wonder.
No.
We'll make her come back. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Before we go, I would like to remind everyone that we have a Patreon. We currently have a vote live. You can check that out at patreon.com/SquareRootsPodcast. We will have another bonus episode coming out shortly as well, since we're a little tardy with January's bonus. So that will be out shortly. February's bonus, TBD, but I'm sure it will be something amazing.
Oh, man. Like, when are we doing the January bonus?
It's tomorrow. Did you play the
Is that ever coming out?
Tomorrow's a Super Bowl, though.
Oh, no, I'm not going to be on that episode.
Okay. Well, I could do it anytime this coming week, so let's figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah, check that out. Patreon.com/SquareRootsPodcast. If you'd like to send us an email to... Oh, wait. We have to do patrons first. Another benefit to being a patron, no matter what tier you subscribe at, is that we like to personally thank some of them on the air every episode. And I'm going to start us off this week by thanking Angel, the outsider of the outhouse, Wash in the Wind, Dr. Fine Say Everyone's Name, Ari Corpivara, Sergeant Spaghetti, Ian Frederick, Butts on Parade, Fresh Eyes, and Jason Timms.
I'd like to thank Jake Dickerson, T. Bumpkins, Huxley Iguana, Keysby Knight, Robert T., Nick, Ron, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, Friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, and Seattle Sounders will host Paris and Madrid in Club World Cup.
I'd like to thank David Arnold, Wake Up Call, Make It Hat Ben, Tracy, Johnny Five Alive, Wedge Coon, Andy, David Green, Star Healer, John B. Quaker Oatman, and Andy Best.
All right, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email to have read on the air, we're at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Join our Facebook group. It's called the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or find us on Blue Sky at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on whatever podcast app you like to use. I think most of them have a rating tool. So go ahead and give this as many stars or likes or pluses or numbers as possible. Just the highest number, please. No need for lower reviews because this is obviously 100% podcast. Give it an A+. And thanks to Stephen Morris.
100.
Our Square Roots theme. You can find Steven on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
All right, for Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Johnny Brandon.
Goodbye. Bye.